Hello everyone, I hope you are doing fine wherever you are. This is your English teacher, Teacher Eric, and I'm back here. I'm going to be with you today, where we are going to learn something very interesting today, which is nothing but the use of conditional sentences. You guys, I want you to be all ears, listen carefully and attentively, just because you need to know this. And in addition to that, there will be a short quiz at the end of this lesson just to evaluate your understanding. Hey, now let's get started, guys. Now we say conditional sentence. What is a conditional sentence? Actually, in a conditional sentence, we have two clauses, which are if clause and main clause. This is why many people say that conditional sentences are called if clauses. So today you come to the right place where you are going to know the difference, okay? Now, we say if clause simply because it is a clause or a part of a sentence which is introduced by the word if or unless. So I'm here to remind you that the word unless means if not, or in another word, it's a negative form of if. And we have main clause or independent clause, and it is called main clause simply because it can stand on its own and it has a complete meaning, clear and a sensible meaning in English, just as a sentence, okay? This is what we call main clause versus if clause. And now the combination of the two is that makes conditional sentence. Have you got it right? So it means that a conditional sentence is a combination of if clause and the main clause. Now we call it conditional simply because the idea expressed in a main clause will depend on that one of if clause for it to happen. Now how does it work? For example, I say, if I get money, I will build the house. If I get money, I will build a house. Now, if I get money, this is if clause. I will build a house. This is main clause. You understand that I will build a house? Yeah, it is complete in meaning. But if I get money, of course you need to know what will happen, okay? So it is not complete. Now, the idea of building a house will depend on the fact that I will get money. So if I don't get money, then I will not build a house. So this is why we call it a conditional sentence, okay? Now for that you've understood it clearly. Now let's quickly go to the types of if clauses we have in English, okay? Or conditional sentences we have in English. We have 4 types of if clauses. So I want you guys to be careful about this one. We have 4 types of if clause in English. We have type 0, type 1, type 2, and type 3. Now, how do they differ from one another? Let's start with if type 0. How does it work? So this type of if clause expresses the general truth that is known wherever you are around the world, okay? This is universal truth actually. Like how then? Allow me to ask you one question. What happens if you heat water up to 100 degrees Celsius? What happens? Haven't you ever tried this? I guess you've got to know the answer. Once you heat water up to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils, okay? This is quite real wherever you are, in all continents of the world, okay? This is the fact. And another thing is, like, as you can see from your screen, what happens if the sun shines? Oh, of course, when it shines, it gets hot. So that is the fact, and that's it. So it says that if something happens in this way, it is always happening like that. It will always happen like that. That's the fact. And that is, now the form of it is we take if. In if clause, of course, we need to have if plus simple present tense. And in main clause, we will have again simple present tense because it is the fact. Okay? And that's it. Then, of course, as we have affirmative, we even have negative. So if you say, like, for example, if it doesn't shine, it doesn't get hot. So that's it. Okay? Now we quickly go to if clause type 1. How does it work? What does it mean? So type 1 of if clause works in a way that it expresses the possibility in the future. In other words, there is a possibility that something will happen in the future depending on what happens today. Okay? As you can see on your screens, for example, when I say, if she comes, I will take her home. If she comes, I will take her home. Oh, of course, I cannot take her home when he doesn't come, I cannot take her home when he doesn't come. So this is the possibility that I will take her home, from the fact that she comes. That's it, okay? If I get money, I will visit Rwanda. Of course, for me to visit Rwanda will depend on the fact that I will get money. So I guess that's how it works. And the form of it is if plus simple present tense in if clause. Then in main clause we need to have simple future. Simple future is just like will plus infinitive without a to, or will plus base form of the verb. This is how it works. Now in a negative sense, we say like, if I don't get money, I will not visit Rwanda. So this is how it works. And now we go to type 2 of if clause. I guess the lesson is getting too much interesting, right? Okay. Now, type 2 of if clause means what? How does it work? This one expresses the regret in present. You understand? Expresses regret and real situation. Something cannot happen. This is impossible in present. It's just like a wish in present. For example, as you can see from your screen again, like if I had money, I would buy a car. Now that I don't have money, I cannot buy a car. This is just like a wish or a regret now. Oh, I wish I had money. You understand? I would buy a car. Okay? Though the tense that is used here is in past, but the idea, the main idea that is expressed here is in present. Like, I wish I had money. I would do something. I would buy a car. But now I don't have money, so I cannot buy it. You understand? I feel like I'm wishing. This is how it is, okay? And now the form of it is if plus simple past. If plus simple past in if clause, we will have, in main clause, we will have would plus bare infinitive or a base form of a verb. So if I had money, I would buy a car. Negative is like, unless I had money, I wouldn't buy a car. I would not buy a car. We don't say, unless I had money, I would buy not a car. No. Many English learners make such kind of a mistake, which I want you now to correct, and from today on make it perfect. All right? And we go to the last type of if clause, which is if clause type 3. How does it work? Now, this kind of if clause is there to express the wish and regret in the past. In the past. How does it work then? We say, like from the examples we have, if I had known, I wouldn't have gone out. If I had known, I wouldn't have gone out. So it means I went out simply because I didn't know what could happen. You understand? Probably something bad, something wrong happened. But if I had known before, I wouldn't have gone out. Do you understand? In other words, it means I didn't know, so that's why I went out. But if I had known, I wouldn't have gone out. Now the form is like we take if plus past perfect, and in the main clause we need to have would have plus past participle of a given verb, or in negative wouldn't have plus past participle of that verb. And that's how they work, and I guess from today on you are not going to be confused about these if clauses in English, okay? And we've been making sentences beginning from if clauses to main clauses. Again, we need to know that we can flip-flop, and we begin from main clauses, then if clause later. So the difference that it will make is when you begin with if clause, there should be a comma at the end of this clause, and then you add main clause. But when you begin with main clause, remember that there will not be comma in between the two clauses. Still on the third type of if clause, there is another way we do it, and it means the same as the previous way we have seen it. Now, what is this? I've told you that the form of it is like if plus past perfect, whereby like we say, if I had known, I wouldn't have gone out. Now, the other form that I'm saying is that instead of beginning with if, now we begin with, we use subject inversion. And we say like, had I known, I wouldn't have gone out. So this second sentence that I'm making means exactly the same as the previous sentence that you can see on your screen, whereby we say, if I had known, I wouldn't have gone out. So in another way, we say, had I known, I wouldn't have gone out. These two sentences mean exactly the same. So this only works specifically with type 3 of if clause. I hope this one helps you, okay? So guys, this is what takes us to the end of this lesson. I thank you for being with me all along this time, and I believe from today on you are going to enjoy the use of if clauses, conditional sentences in English, right? So guys, if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more coming videos, share, comment, and of course like it, okay? I hope you are going to do it now. So let's quickly go to the quiz, and I wish you success, guys. See you.
At 29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set the rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. I sit here lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life changes just open the door. One thing's certain, I'll always be yours. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours. 29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. One day I'll be yours. One day I'll be yours. One day I'll be yours. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life changes just open the door. One thing's certain, I'll always be yours.